The story surrounding Taylor Frankie Paul and Dakota Mortensen is one that has captured widespread attention, not only because of the shocking nature of the incident itself, but also due to the larger conversation it has sparked about relationships, accountability, and the consequences of public exposure. What began as a private conflict between two individuals quickly escalated into a viral and deeply controversial moment after footage surfaced showing a chaotic and emotionally charged altercation. The video, which was later obtained and circulated by TMZ, paints a disturbing picture of a relationship that had clearly reached a breaking point. In the footage, voices are raised, emotions run high, and the tension is almost unbearable. The argument between Taylor and Dakota unfolds rapidly, with accusations flying back and forth. At one point, Dakota can be heard calling out what he describes as physical abuse, his voice filled with frustration and disbelief. The intensity of the situation is evident as both individuals appear overwhelmed by anger and pain. The repeated exchanges suggest a pattern of conflict that had likely been building for some time, rather than a single isolated incident. As the argument escalates, the situation takes a more alarming turn. Objects are thrown, including bar stools, which become a central and deeply concerning element of the altercation. The act of throwing furniture in the heat of the moment reflects not only the severity of the argument, but also the loss of control that both parties seem to experience. In the midst of this chaos, the presence of a child adds another layer of gravity to the situation. Taylor's daughter, Indy, who was just 5 years old at the time, is reportedly nearby during the incident. One of the most distressing aspects of the video is the moment when one of the thrown stools appears to strike Indy. The reaction is immediate, with voices shifting from anger to shock and concern. The realization that a child may have been harmed in the midst of the conflict underscores the seriousness of the situation. It transforms the narrative from a volatile argument into something far more troubling, raising questions about responsibility, safety, and the impact of such events on children. Despite the visual chaos, the audio continues even when the camera view is obstructed or goes dark. The sounds of the altercation persist, leaving viewers to imagine what is happening beyond what they can see. This lack of visibility, combined with the intensity of the audio, creates an even more unsettling experience. It suggests that the conflict did not immediately de-escalate, but rather continued in a way that further heightened concerns about what was taking place. The incident did not remain confined to private circles. It eventually became a matter of legal importance, with prosecutors reviewing the footage and using it as evidence. Charges were filed against Taylor, marking a significant turning point in the situation. The legal proceedings brought a new level of scrutiny, shifting the focus from a personal dispute to a matter of public record and accountability. Taylor ultimately pleaded guilty to aggravated assault, a decision that carried serious implications for her personal and professional life. At the time, Taylor described the period as one of the most difficult experiences she had ever faced. The emotional toll of the situation was evident in her reflections, as she acknowledged the challenges of navigating both the legal consequences and the public reaction. The case served as a stark reminder of how quickly personal actions can have far-reaching consequences, especially when they become part of a widely viewed narrative. The timing of the video's release has also been a point of contention. According to Taylor, the resurfacing of the footage was not coincidental. She suggested that Dakota may have been involved in bringing the video back into the spotlight, particularly at a time when she was preparing for a major television appearance. This claim adds another layer of complexity to the situation, as it introduces questions about motive, timing, and the role of media in shaping public perception. The controversy had a direct impact on her involvement in television projects, including the planned season of The Bachelorette, which was reportedly affected amid the unfolding drama. The connection between personal controversies and professional opportunities became Wavic, highlighting how public figures often face consequences that extend beyond their private lives. Networks such as ABC had to consider the implications of the situation, ultimately leading to significant changes in their programming. At the same time, the incident was also referenced in the pilot episode of The Secret Lives of Mormon Wives, which streams on Hulu. This inclusion brought the story to an even wider audience, further blurring the line between reality and entertainment. For viewers, it raised important questions about how real-life events are portrayed in media, and whether such portrayals help or harm those involved. Taylor's response to the renewed attention has been a mix of defense and reflection. Through statements released by her representatives, she has expressed frustration over what she describes as a pattern of attempts to damage her reputation. According to her spokesperson, the release of the video without full context presents an incomplete picture of the situation. They argue that there is more to the story than what is shown, and that focusing solely on the most dramatic moments can lead to misunderstandings. At the heart of her response is the assertion that the relationship itself was deeply toxic. Taylor has spoken about the difficulty of breaking free from such dynamics, comparing it to an addiction that is hard to escape. This perspective sheds light on the complex nature of unhealthy relationships, where emotions, history, and dependency can make it difficult for individuals to step away, even when the situation becomes harmful. She has also acknowledged her own role in the events, emphasizing the importance of taking responsibility for her actions. This acknowledgement is significant as it reflects an awareness of the need for accountability. At the same time, she maintains that the public narrative does not fully capture the complexities of what she experienced. The tension between accepting responsibility and seeking understanding is a recurring theme in her statement. One of the most challenging aspects for Taylor has been the way she has been labeled in the aftermath of the incident. She has expressed frustration at being characterized in a simplistic or negative way, arguing that such labels fail to reflect the full reality of her situation. This highlights a broader issue in public discourse, where individuals involved in controversies are often reduced to one-dimensional portrayals. The story of Taylor, Frankie Paul, and Dakota Mortensen is ultimately about more than a single incident. It is about the intersection of private life and public exposure, and the ways in which personal struggles can become amplified in the digital age. The propagation of the video has ensured that the event will remain a topic of discussion for some time, serving as both a cautionary tale and a point of starting for conversations about relationships, accountability, and the impact of media. For viewers and observers, the situation raises difficult questions. How should such incidents be interpreted when presented through limited footage? What responsibilities do media outlets have when sharing sensitive content? And how can individuals navigate the challenges of addressing past mistakes while moving forward? As the dust continues to settle, one thing remains clear: the events captured in that video have had lasting consequences for everyone involved. From legal repercussions to professional setbacks and public scrutiny, the ripple effects have been significant. At the same time, the story continues to evolve, shaped by new developments, perspectives, and discussions. In the end, this is not just a story about conflict, but about the complexities of human behavior, the challenges of accountability, and the power of narrative in shaping how events are understood. It serves as a reminder that behind every viral moment is a deeper story, one that cannot always be fully captured in a single video, but continues to unfold long after the cameras stop rolling.
For full video, click related link below or like and subscribe this channel.